Alright, this is going to be an ongoing thing, so let's just call this... I don't know, pissed off is not the word. It's heavily annoyed at the dumb bullshit going through the internet. Oh. Alright, so... I'm assuming the 5 people that are probably going to watch this is familiar of all this conspiracy about Disney, like, ooh, Disney's evil, and oh, they put subliminal messages in their show, and I know a lot of comments are going to be like, oh, yes, they are, here's the videos, and I watch those videos, this is why I'm upset right now. You got a lot of sex going on in these shows. Don't reference to me any of, like, the porn that's online, because Rule 34. Look it up. It happens. I don't even care if it's the artist drawing it or whatnot. They don't draw it to be put into the movie. And if underage people are looking this up, then their parents should, like, pull the plug on the internet forever. No, it's all this sorcery. I want first, about all that sex that people are finding in the shows. You will find it if you look for it. sex, you look into it. It's like you see an S and something that looks like an E, and then there's probably an X. There's, oh my god, they wrote sex in there. Oh my kids, oh god, our kids are seeing this. If your kids know how to spell sex, maybe you shouldn't be parents. Also, if your kids are thinking about sex being subliminally put into their minds, you're failing as parents, or you're doing a really good job at preparing them for life. I don't know. But I would like to ask, how many people in here watching this video has seen a Disney movie when they're a kid? When did you lose your virginity? Now, if you say 14, or some ungodly young age like that, I also want you to think. Were you thinking about Simba, Bonnie, Nala while you were doing it? I mean, the biggest part is like Lion King, when he fluffs down on the cliff and the flower petals go up in the air and sex is written in it. And it's at this point, it's on your mind as an adult. Because you see Simba and Nala frolicking in the meadow while Can You Feel the Love Tonight playing in the background. And Timon and Pumbaa knows what's coming up because they're adults. So, if you're an adult, you see them having sex. And Nala looks very seductive in that scene. If you're a kid, you're like, oh, they're playing. They're roughhousing like they did at the beginning of the movie. And then they learn that's kind of what happens in real life, too. First, you start roughhousing and tumbling, and then Game of Thrones put it best. The wrestling turned into something else. So, sex is already on your mind. Aladdin, with the good teens, take off your clothes.
Come on, good teens, take off your clothes.
How can I best put this? Apparently, it's like, you're already thinking about Jasmine. I mean, she's in revealing clothing, which is about the dress code of the time. Can we talk about how Aladdin's running around with his breasts exposed throughout the whole movie? It's the culture. Now that we're on that, if you listen, I mean, when I was a kid, I swear he said something along the lines of nice kitty, and you couldn't really understand him because Raja was growling.
Come on, good teens, take off your clothes.
Now, what does Raja do with people that he doesn't like? He bites the rear part of their pants off, as you saw at the beginning of the movie. So, I'm assuming that off camera we don't see Raja trying to bite Aladdin, probably on his rear. So, When I heard the thing about, like, good teens take off their clothes, I listen closer, and I actually hear Aladdin saying, "Good kitty, take out your claws." Now that I've said that, listen to it again. Please, do you hear take off your clothes, or do you hear take out your claws?
Come on, good kitties, take off your clothes.
Because there's one thing that everybody keeps proving. You hear it after someone tells you about it. And you're like, oh, you listen to it again, you're listening for those words. Yeah, I can sort of hear it, so you're right. It's just like ghost hunting shows. You hear a vague noise in the EVP, the show tells you what they want you to hear. Alright. Now, I'm not saying there's no sexual things in there. There's a lot of objects in the drawings that look like phalluses. It has been proven that the guy that drew the poster for The Little Mermaid accidentally, or at least he says it was accidental, drawn a dildo as one of the spires. He was tired. That was his last commission for Disney. He says it wasn't to be, he wasn't trying to, like, be evil or anything about it, but it's there. People see it. You don't need to be told it's there. If you're got a dirty mind and you see it, you're like, but there's a lot of other innuendos throughout the thing. But of course, if you're trying to look for, like, boobs, you'll find boobs. Especially rescuers. That has been confirmed. At least in the old releases. I mean, they've edited it out with, like, the beauty of computers. But the only way that could have been in there was if it was a malicious intent or joke. But it was purposely put in, and it wasn't to corrupt your children. So, onto the sorcery, because this is what really bugged me. I was watching this video, I'm not going to link it. I was going to make a comment, but then I noticed, of course, comments have been disabled. I wonder why. I can't imagine why there would be such an uproar on this subject one way or the other. So it's like people are just throwing names at each other, and it becomes ridiculous, and there's no logic behind what they're saying, and it just becomes, well, your mother, oh, well, your father, and then it's just arguments, and it becomes just not about the video. So yeah, I can see why the comments. Although I wanted to read some of that. That would have been entertaining. That would have made my day watching this video. Anyway. So, anyway, people are talking about sorcery and all this black magic in the shows. Especially the Princess and the Frog and The Little Mermaid. And just stop. Stop. Just stop. Alright. First of all, I want to just knock down the obvious thing. The people using the black magic and the sorcery are the bad guys. And Ursula, she's a sea witch. They call her the sea witch. She uses evil sorcery to get what she wants. But does she get what she wants? No! I mean, she kind of gets it, but then she gets stabbed in the freaking stomach by not sorcery. The prince comes and drives the boat right into her. She gets impaled. She's like, whoa! No, curse it! Why did magic betray me? No! And freaking Shadow Man from the Princess and the Frog. He uses voodoo, hoodoo, and stuff he hasn't even tried. And he's a bad guy. He's the villain. He's the one that's in the shadows being like, yeah. He even has that villain mustache. And he's not shown in a good light. Unless you're already, like, into that thing. And then why are you complaining about your children being exposed to that when they already are. He even says, it's like he's got friends on the other side. And you know what happens when you make a deal with these dark people on the other side. Once Upon a Time puts it very well. Magic always comes with a price. He can't use the magic on himself. He can't, like, magically make him have everything. He uses tools to aid him in getting what he wants. In this case, it's murder. So, murder and then fame and fortune, and he's just trying to get it all. What do the heroes do? Not magic. I mean, they have a little voodoo person on the side that's helping them, but they themselves don't use the magic. And even they know that there's a price that comes with this magic that they use. Like Mama Odie, she doesn't even use magic on them. I mean, in order to break the thing, of course you have to use Love's Kiss, because Disney. And love is magic. Those ponies think that friendship is magic. No, love is magic. So, she doesn't use the magic to cure these people. They use love to cure themselves. And it's only after they beat the villain, by the way, since he couldn't keep his end of the bargain, his friends on the other side takes his soul. And the last image you see of him is being dragged into a gravestone and with his face implanted on the stone forever. I mean, that's... I don't want that to happen to me. I mean, shit. No one got time for that. So it's like they put sorcery in a bad light. Even the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Even in the Hunchback of Notre Dame, magic was put in a bad light. I mean, granted, the gypsies were kind of the good guys. They were the good guys. But here's the thing, though. Society was still looking down on them. They weren't cool. They were made to not be that cool. The cool dog was the Hunchback. I mean, he tried to find love, but his looks and his physique still just could not get it. And people are like, ooh, he didn't find true love, so we're going to have to make a sequel so he can find true love. And that's all the fucking movie is about. No, that's not the Notre Dame. In fact, I would have loved it if they didn't throw in the whole thing about, like, him being all emo-tastic about not being loved. I mean, you saw in the Court of Fools that they strung him up and they made a mockery of him. And that should have been the lesson, where it's like the normal society wouldn't accept him. His priest would pretty much be the only person that would accept him. But the priest is dealing with his own dark side. And he's fallen in love with the mystery and the mystique of this gypsy caravan. And he doesn't use sorcery, but he's falling in love with it, and he doesn't want to be because it's evil. And so he battles with himself. It's like, I love this girl, but I don't, and just Hellfire will explain it better than I do. So, it's like, she would love me and denounce her gypsy ways, or she dies. In Frozen, Elsa has ice powers, unknown for some reason. I'm going to cover more of this in my Frozen review. So if you want to see me covering everything that people say about Frozen, click here, eventually. Or subscribe. But for now, she's using sorcery, or if you want to call it sorcery, I think it's just a mutation. I mean, she's fucking Storm. No, she would be more like Iceman. Ice woman? Huh? Anyway, she has these ice powers that she uses. But again, is put in a bad light. She's all her childhood, her parents hide her away. They don't let her use her powers. And then when she's an adult, without the guidance of her parents, she becomes queen. She has to, like, mingle with everybody, and her powers show up again. And guess what happens? They're all like, ooh, Elsa, you're like an awesome, like, ice queen, and we're just going to praise you. You're our god. No! No, no, no! What they do is they're afraid of her. Everyone. Except for Anna. Because she's like, oh, she's my sister, I can talk to her, and everything will be all nice and happy. Everyone's afraid of her. They want her dead because they're afraid of being frozen to death. For good reason. I mean, when she leaves, she freezes everything. And it stays like that even though she's on the mountain. And she doesn't realize this. And people, they're just afraid that, they're just going to freeze. And I'm reiterating this because that was the whole part of the movie. Everyone's afraid of these powers. Even Elsa's afraid. And so she realizes, like, I can just practice my magic up here. Look at me. Woo! Psh, psh. But then she's alone. And she's not trying to harm anybody. When she learns that she can, that she actually is harming people, she shoves it away. She's just like, you guys will fine, just go away. Just just go. And it's just, it's not put into a good light until at the end. Well, I guess they did put in a good light eventually. But Disney just keeps putting sorcery in a bad light. So it's like even the good guys are being put in a bad light. So it's... And what's... So this is... What's this? Sorcery? I mean, don't get me wrong. Personally thought this was rock on. So all the rockers are throwing up sorcery gang signs. It's just, I mean, I noticed quite a few times the characters do that. They're like grabbing something and they have to go like that. And I was just like, huh, Disney's telling us to rock on. That's cool. How? Just, I tried looking this up. I don't know what to look for, apparently. Because I keep getting like pentagrams, upside down burning pentagrams, onks, a bunch of other different symbols, but not this. I cannot find this on the internet being an evil sorcery symbol thing. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I'm gonna have to say, if subliminal, I can't say it. Hidden messages do not work if you don't know what it is. I mean, you can flash boobs on the screen all you want, and the person will not know that they're supposed to be aroused by it if they don't know that it's an arousing thing. I mean, I guess it's like, oh, I feel strange in my pants, I don't know why. But it's, if they don't understand it, they won't know that they're supposed to be seeing something. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of sites and videos talk about how hidden messages don't actually work. I mean, you can like flash something on the screen in like, what was it, like 0.3 seconds? And it's just, it'll be lost. It'll just seriously will be lost on the audience. You have to actually look for it and be like, hey, here it is. This is what's right here. And I just don't really care about it. Or I'm offended. You could really be offended. I mean, but it's like, kill your father. Okay, I think I'll kill my daddy now. No, it doesn't work that way. Now, in songs, don't get me wrong with that, because people idolize singers for some reason. And if they think they hear their idol and their god telling them that they should go out and kill all the people that make fun of them, then they might be if they're not thinking straight. And let's just get Illuminati out of the way. There's a huge conspiracy about the Illuminati being in music, and they have their in all the movies, and they're all trying to take control of you, and I don't know how that would work. I mean, it's like Lady Gaga is in the Illuminati. Okay, she's in the Illuminati, and they're taking over the world by telling us that we're all equal. Okay. Or that's like, it doesn't matter because you're born that way. Okay. Or that they're taking over the world because all they're doing is for the applause. Disney being Illuminati. It's just... Ah! I don't know why people are assuming that all these underground cults are just trying to take over the world. It is possible. I'm not saying it's not. And I wouldn't be like, oh, I didn't see it coming if they actually do take over the world. But it's just, I want to point out that it's been a couple generations. I mean, people have been saying that Benjamin Franklin was a part of the Illuminati. Think about that real quick. It's been years. And they're all, like, the original Illuminati are no longer alive. And if they are, they're ungodly old. So they could just pass it down, and pass it down, and pass it. What happens to your family traditions when you keep passing it down? People change them. It's like, oh, I don't like doing it this way. Why do we have to carve a turkey every year? Let's do a chicken. Or let's go to KFC because that's a bird of some kind. Well, it doesn't matter. The people have become allergic to cranberry, so let's not do cranberry sauce this year. Things change, things happen, and maybe it changed into taking over the world, or maybe the Illuminati just got discontinued completely. I mean, the Freemasons. They were. I'm not even fully sure what they were about. I know they weren't evil. They were about building shit. About building a new world and junk. And they succeeded. I mean, look at us now! Oh, I have a feeling I just got a few comments. So it's just... Is Disney evil? I don't think so. So, I've ranted. I said my piece on this matter. It was something I was going to talk about later. But it's just, oh my god, the people. Oh, I just want to bash my head on something. Why, people? It's not corrupting our youth. It didn't corrupt me. I know people are going to say that I did. But I'm fine. I'm not casting spells or magic. Harry Potter didn't teach me spells. Disney didn't make me go into sorcery and have sex with good little teens with their clothes off. No! It's because I know better. I'm smart. My kids know better. They watch this. They don't see these innuendos. They don't see all this stuff. They'll probably see it when they're adults, but guess what? They'll know it when they're adults, and that's why they see it. This is all. Now, please keep subscribing, because I will be doing video reviews, and I'm going to have some logical irony. I will be reviewing it on a logical standpoint instead of biased. So please subscribe, like this video, or dislike it, because for me on this, if you like it, then I know that I did a good job of informing you. If you dislike it, I know I did a good job on pissing you off. And have a good night.
Come on, good gamers.